Welcome to Cook the Math, where culinary art meets mathematical precision. Thank you for joining. We are back with another episode of Sensible Cuisine, that's sensible with a C, where we take a more traditional item, make it, and see how much it costs to make. And in this episode, we are going to be doing bread. I got this recipe from Taste Better from scratch. Now, not a lot of ingredients to make bread. We just need some yeast. I got this from Fleischmann's, water, which we're just going to use the tap, salt, sugar, oil, and of course, our flour. Now, I did get all these ingredients from Walmart, and apart from the water and the yeast, these are also great value branded. Though keep in mind that the price of these items may vary depending on where you are from, what store you go to, and what brand you get. So, without further ado, let's get started in making the bread. So we're going to start off with the warm water, and how I'm going to measure that temperature is if it's just warm enough to where you don't burn yourself. So that's how I'm going to measure that, and that usually works for that yeast. Now for the yeast, and out of the quarter cup of sugar, I'm just going to use a pinch of it, and then we'll use the rest once it gets proof. Just going to do a tiny bit of mixing. And then we're going to wait for about 5 to 10 minutes until it is foamy. It looks like it's just starting to do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the rest of the sugar as well as the oil and the flour using the spoon method, where I spoon the flour into a cup and then level it off with the back of the spoon. Two tablespoons of oil. And then we're going to need 3 cups of flour. Now that it's slightly sticky, we are going to put this on medium speed for 4 to 5 minutes. Alright, now we will put this into our bowl. Alright, I have put the dough in a grease bowl, and I did coat it around. I did not show that footage. Now I'm going to cover it and let it rise for an hour and a half. Now we're going to punch down the dough. Remove any air bubbles, and we're going to evenly divide this up into 2 sections and let it rise for a second time. Now, as you can see, I have listed all the ingredients here with the exception of water because I got that from the tap, and tap water is free. I've also split it up into 3 sections. So we have the total price, which is the price of each item that you get at the store. You have dollar per serving, which is the price of the item divided by how many total servings there are. And then lastly is the dollar per part, where it is how much we actually need. So for our yeast, that was $1.88. and that was for 3 packets. So I'm just going to write 3. For sugar, we have $3.14 for 9.5 cups. And most of these will be reused from previous episodes. For example, our salt, we have 67 cents. But this time we're going to use the teaspoons, which is about 123. Our oil is $3.97 for 96 tablespoons. And then our flour is $2.38 for 18.75 cups. Now for our dollar per serving, we have $1.88 divided by 3, and that is 63 cents. And since the recipe calls for 1 packet, it's also going to be our price per part. For our sugar, 3.14 divided by 9.5, that is 33 cents. Our salt, 0.67 divided by 123. I am going to keep it at what it is, which is half a cent. You'll see why in a bit. Our oil is $3.97 divided by 96, and that is 4 cents. And then our flour is $2.38 divided by 18.75, which is 13 cents. Now for the dollar per part for the rest of the ingredients. Sugar, we need 1/4 cup, so we have to divide this by 4, and we get 8 cents. Our salt, we are going to multiply by 2 because we need 2 teaspoons, and that leads us to 1 cent. Our oil, we need 2 tablespoons, so that's 8 cents. And then for the flour, I ended up measuring 5.5 cups, so this is going to be 13 cents times 5.5, which is 72 cents. And doing the math on here, we see that it will cost $1.52 to make. Though keep in mind that was with 2 loaves, so per loaf that is 76 cents. And just in case you wanted to figure out how much it is for each loaf, it comes around between 12 and 16 slices. We're just going to go in the middle and go for 14. So per slice, it's going to be 5 cents. And if you add all the ingredients for the total price, we see that it comes around to $12.04. So this right here, this $1.52, is a little more expensive than the cost of 1 loaf of the cheapest variety, so the Great Value brand. So you are saving a little bit of money by making your own bread, even if you don't have a bread machine like I don't. Anyway, that is the cost breakdown of making bread. If you would like to suggest what I should do next, leave that down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and keep on cooking and calculating.